All right, y'all. Let's get into these next crop of Derby horses here that I'm calling the Derby Challengers. Now, these are horses that I think probably should be in the realm of the favorites, but for whatever the reason, the public does not like them. These horses are all coming off of good races, all off of good wins, um, and they've got good jockeys with experience. So let's go ahead and get into these horses here because I'm thinking it's more possible that the winner is likely to come from one of these. Uh, First, at 12 to 1, Rodriguez. Okay, this horse, first of all, sired by Authentic. Authentic was out of Into Mischief. Um, Authentic won the Kentucky Derby in a wire to wire fashion. Um, that's the way this horse is going to try to run. He's going to like to run up front. If he's not on the lead, I don't think he'll necessarily take the lead. He doesn't have to have it. He got it in the wood because the pace was slow enough to allow him to get it. But he finished and closed strong, and I think he'll have a lot to offer coming for the Derby as far as those front runners go. He's probably going to be the strongest one of those and probably going to be the one that comes out of that pack. Um, Ridden by Mike Smith. Mike Smith's got a couple of Derby wins. He's won in '05 with Giacomo, coming way off the pace in a crazy race with a fast pace. And then in '17, another very fast pace race with Justify. He was aboard Justify for that fast pace and rode him home for the Derby win there as well. Uh, the horse Rodriguez's trainer here is Bob Baffert. Now, Bob Baffert, 6 official Kentucky Derby wins, 7 unofficial, 97 with Silver Charm, 98 Real Quiet, '02 War Emblem, 2015 American Pharaoh, 2018 Justified, 2020 Authentic, and in 21 Medina Spirit, who was later on disqualified. And just glancing at this, when you look at these, you got near miss triple crown horses here in Silver Charm, Real Quiet, and War Emblem. And then you got 2 triple crown horses here, American Pharaoh and Justify. And Authentic, hey, that was a 2020 crazy year. So you kind of got to throw that out. So, I mean, amazing resume for Bob Baffert. And he's coming off this suspension due to that Medina Spirit race. Should have been back last year. I wanted to see him back with Muth in the race. It didn't happen due to political and judicial circumstances that I did not agree with. So Bob is back, and he's going to be back with an attitude. I'm sure Bob Baffert wants to prove that he's the best, and he's got a good horse in this one. He's got another horse, but he's got a good horse, in my opinion, here in this one, Rodriguez. Speed-wise, I got him rated at 110. That's the second fastest horse I have rated in this race. And he's going to be running up front. So, a lot to like with Rodriguez. Possibility to steal this race if any horse does have that. The second horse we're going to look at here, 12 to 1, Tappan Street. Another horse that's out of Into Mischief. Now, his mother's father is Distorted Humor. Distorted Humor, the sire of Derby winner Funny Side. His jockey is Luis Saez. Saez won the 2019 Kentucky Derby aboard Maximum Security. Another case of a disqualification. Bogus, in my opinion. Maximum Security should not have been disqualified from that race. They pulled him down anyway, so Luis Saez has got something to prove. The trainer of Tappan Street, Brad Cox, the unofficial winner of the 2021 Kentucky Derby with Mandaloon. He ran second behind Medina Spirit. A great run, great race run by Mandaloon. Lost it by like a head, I think it was. But Brad Cox, I'm sure, would like to get an official where his horse actually crosses the finish line first. So a lot to like with this one, with the trainer and the jockey, the breeding. Speed wise, I got him rated a 104. His last out was a win in the Florida Derby where he got a win over Sovereignty. Now, Sovereignty was missing his jockey in that one due to an injury. So a lot of people want to put an asterisk by that. Good race nonetheless. Everyone says the Santa Anita Derby is the best prep race. I don't know why. They just say that. I mean, I think they're just saying that. I have this horse rated faster than Sovereignty, just slightly, but faster nonetheless. Got a win over and faster than the favorite Journalism as well. I have both Sovereignty and Journalism rated at 103. So this horse before that win in the Florida Derby, he was second in the Holy Bull. Got beat by Burnham Square in that one, and Burnham Square just ran a really great race in that. Impressive second place, I would say, for Tappan Street. 1 length off of Burnham Square. Got a win at Gulfstream before that at 7 furlongs. So do you look at this horse and say, yeah, he's the best horse going away on the page? No. I do like his strategy a bit better because running up front could be dangerous. The pace in these derbies almost always faster than what you should see for a 1.25 mile race, but that's what you're going to get anyway. And this horse is probably going to stay out of it. Now, Luis Saez likes to move his horses. Sometimes a bit early. He's a bit too aggressive, but he will be in it. He's not going to fall asleep. So that's a good thing. He will give the horse a shot at this one, and I think that will help him because I think it will help him stay out of traffic too. If he does run into any traffic, he'll be able to deal with it early. So that, like I said, there's a lot to like about this horse. Like I said, the 104 coming with the Luis Saez, the Brad Cox combo, another Into Mischief horse, Tappan Street, 14-1, Burnham Square. This horse is out of Liam's Map, an unbridled song horse. His mother's father's Scat Daddy, who was the sire of Justify. If you go back in this family tree a little bit farther, you find Derby winners Unbridled and Sonny's Halo. So good breeding for Burnham Square. Brian Hernandez is going to be riding him. He won last year's Derby aboard Mystic Dan. He kind of did that Calvin Burrell thing, in my opinion. Now, I didn't go back and study all the races exactly. I studied Calvin Burrell's ride a lot with Street Sense because I thought that was a pretty crafty ride, and so I wanted to learn how to duplicate that in Gallop Racer. Calvin Burrell pretty much duplicated that race twice again for another win, and Brian Hernandez had a good ride with Mystic Dan. And I think he's going to be looking to do the same type thing with Burnham Square. I don't think he's going to try to ride him up front. Burnham Square, technically a front runner, but they've shown he can rate the horse. Now, Hernandez hasn't been riding him his whole career. He rode him last out for that win in the Bluegrass Stakes. In the Fountain of Youth, the race before that, he lost to Sovereignty in River Thames. Fourth in that race. Edgar Zayas rode him in that one. Before that, Edgar Zayas rode him to the win in the Holy Bull, where he got the win over Tappan Street, and was riding him when he broke his maiden at Gulfstream. Before that, he rode at Churchill. Not successfully, third in the maiden special weight at Churchill, but he does have experience on the track. Came down to Florida, got tightened up. I don't know, this horse, on paper, I don't have him as he's fast. I've got him as a 98 speed. He has beaten Tappan Street before, just he hasn't shown it on paper. I had that Bluegrass Stakes as a 94 speed. So to me, the fastest he ran was in that Fountain of Youth in a loss. I gave him a 97 for that Holy Bull. So a 98. Burnham Square doesn't seem to be that fast to me, and on paper, at least using my speed figures, he's not. I haven't looked at the buyer numbers. I haven't looked at the time form. I'm sure they probably have him ranked a little bit better. He's a front runner. I have him on paper, but I don't think he's really going to be up front. I think he's going to be more stalking the pace, and I think that Hernandez is going to be looking to find the inside track. So, they haven't drawn the horses, of course, yet. But as you all know, I don't think that the post position means anything in the Kentucky Derby. I think it means minimal. I think the talent of the jockey is going to play more into how successful the horse is going to be coming out of whatever post position the horse gets. And so I think Hernandez is probably not going to go for the lead. He's probably going to look for the rail. And I think that will serve him well. Is that fast enough for him to get a win? Probably, if he gets a good pace, a spot on the rail, a good track, and the pace is too fast. But if the pace isn't too fast for these, because there's some fast horses in this one, if it's not too fast for the Tappan Streets and the Rodriguezes and the Sovereignties and the Journalisms, I think Burnham Square might be a bit too slow for this pack, for this crop of horses. We'll see though. Next, we're going to look at 16-1 Tiztastic. Horse out of Tiz the Law, who was a Derby favorite. Crazy year, once again, 2020, so it's hard to tell what would have happened under normal circumstances, but Tiz the Law was a great horse. Out of Constitution. Now, this horse's mother's father was Tappan. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tappan, wait a second. Constitution, sired by Tappan. So that makes this horse a Tappan crossbreed. That's right, a crossbreed of Tappan. That is what Tiztastic is. Now, Tappan had very good breeding. You're going back talking Triple Crown, Secretariat, Seattle Slew type breeding. So to get a crossbreed of that, you should imagine that this horse is got extremely good breeding, to say the least. Now, jockey Joel Rosario, only one win in the Kentucky Derby, but hey, it's tough enough to win this race as it is. 2013 with Orb. Stephen Asmussen, no wins in the Derby. However, if I'm not mistaken, he is the all-time winningest trainer at Churchill Downs, still yet to win the track's biggest race. So he's looking for a win. I think he's got a good shot with this one. I think a lot of people are mistakenly sleeping on this horse. Last out was a win in the Louisiana Derby. Now, 156-1. That's not a bad time. I gave him a 104 for that. Once again, faster than Journalism, faster than Sovereignty, who the betting public likes better. I think the betting public's mistaken to think that Journalism is a better entry than Tiztastic with Joel Rosario. When Journalism, you got Franco. So, Rispoli. So, and trained by Asmussen, I like Tiztastic as well. Not quite as fast as I have these other horses here, but I still got him at a 104. Now, the reason a lot of people probably don't like him, I'm thinking, is because he had a rough time from getting a win back in this Kentucky Downs race at a mile. The Kentucky Downs Juvenile Mile. Got a nice win there with Irad Ortiz aboard. Then he's been all over the place. Ran at Churchill in the Street Sense, which I said could very well prove to be a preview to the Kentucky Derby. He was second in that one, 5 lengths off of Sovereignty. Christian Torres was riding him in that race, though. Not Rosario. Third in that race was Sandman. Third in his next out, Kentucky Jockey Club. Torres was riding him there as well. They switched it up for the Southwest Stakes. Horse ran third again with Keith Asmussen aboard. So another third place with Asmussen. Yeah, young jockey. Family. Beaten by Speed King there and beaten by Sandman in that one. So runs against Sandman again in the Rebel. Sandman beats him again this time. So third time out, Sandman gets him. So he's got the one win over Sandman in the Street Sense. Loses to Sandman in the Southwest. Beaten by Sandman again here in the Rebel. Jose Ortiz rode him there. I don't know what it is with Jose Ortiz. When he's good, he's good. He looks like just one of the best. But then some horses they switch to and just really don't seem to have an effect. Beaten by some capable horses in the Rebel, though. Coal Battle, Sandman, and Publisher, who we're all seeing here, finished ahead of Tiztastic. So I can see why the betting public may be off of this horse, because you're saying, look, he had a win on turf, and then he ran second, then third, then fifth. Then he ducks a bunch of good horses and runs to Louisiana Derby and gets a win. I could see you making that the narrative. I just think that, he faced a lot of tough competition. They switched it up and went to a race that's longer than the other prep races. So he's got that extra distance in there since he went the mile and 3/16. Got a win over Chunk of Gold in that one. At a solid time, the 156-1. So, like I said, I like Tiztastic as well. The breeding, the jockey, the trainer, gotta like it. So that's what I got here for the Derby Challengers. Next up, we're going to look at Derby Troublemakers. But for these Derby Challengers, I think we got strong contenders here in Rodriguez, Tappan Street, Burnham Square, and Tiztastic.